Hi everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to this beautiful location out here in this pasture with those wind turbines in the background and these cows that are grazing and just looking at me. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video if you like it, and hit the notification bell. So I wanted to kind of like talk a little bit about distractions because, you know, probably now of all times, the days that we're living in, you do not want to be distracted. There's actually a dream that I had. It was, I can't remember, I think it was like around December of last year, and I just want to share a little bit of that just to kind of illustrate a point. I had a dream that I was back in the army and I was deployed and I was like in the barracks, and suddenly word came down from the sergeant major that we were heading out, I guess maybe to like another area, or we were being, you know, we were going somewhere else. And everybody hurry up and get ready, pack up all your stuff. So I was in the barracks, and there was like, I had my locker that was in my barracks room, and there were bunk beds, and no one else was in there except for me. And I was looking around, and like everybody's stuff was still, like no one had put their stuff away. There was equipment and people's personal belongings that were just kind of laying out. And I'm like, you guys, what are you doing? Sergeant Major just told us to all get ready. And when something comes down from Sergeant Major, that's like the top enlisted person in a battalion or in a brigade. Like, you listen to Sergeant Major. You listen to Sergeant Major. You don't, when he tells you to do something, you do it right away. And so I had all my stuff ready, and I went to go see where everybody else was. And it turned out that, I guess, like at this forward operating base, wherever I was, they had like this holographic room set up for entertainment to like keep morale up, and everybody was in there and they were watching this holographic NFL game. And it's weird, but I remember it was the Cowboys, and I don't know who they were playing, and it was like really cool, but just like everybody was there watching the game instead of getting ready. And you know, there was more to the dream. It basically was like, in fact, President Nelson ended up in the dream later on. But the point that I'm wanting to make is that there are so many distractions nowadays, and I'm worried that too many of us are caught up in those, especially men. I mean, women too, but I can't count how many times I'll hear a guy, like, you know, maybe I'll join a group conversation. There's some people that I'm meeting for the first time, and, you know, the guys, they all start talking about sports, or, you know, maybe they start talking about hunting or about cars or something like that. And I know that you know what I'm talking about, because, you know, you might be one of the ones that do that, or, you know, you've obviously seen it happen before. And it's like, sometimes I get really sad because you can tell the way that they talk about these things that they spend significant amounts of time in all these different subjects matter, you know. And it's like, you know, everyone has to work, you know, to survive. So you have all the time that you're spending at work, you know, potentially 8+ hours a day, 5 days a week or more. I guess it just depends on what your job is. And then you get home, you have the things that you have to attend to in your house, especially if you have a family. And then if you're spending a significant amount of time watching sports or hunting, fishing, working on a car, and I'm not saying that those things are bad by any means, you know, like, but what is bad is when we spend just crazy amounts of time doing that, because as you spend your time doing those things, you're basically taking valuable time away from yourself that you could use learning important things and watching the signs of the times and things that actually matter, spending time with your family, things like that. It wasn't until I started my work as a freelancer, it wasn't until then that I really spent significant amounts of time researching things, because like I said, I can sit there at the computer, I can design, place my designs on products and post them different places, and as I do that, I can listen to stuff on the computer, and I've learned so much by doing that I couldn't otherwise. And I feel like I'm a lot more aware than a lot of people that either aren't blessed to have that kind of that type of opportunity, or just those that don't take the time, that don't make the time to learn and to study and to observe. You know, when it comes to the signs of the times, there are plenty of those, and you can find them. And the thing about it is that the mainstream media, they're not going to put it all together for you necessarily. I have seen that they do report on things, but like thankfully we have bloggers, YouTubers, independent journalists that are able to collect all these bits of information and put it all together. You know, like these like weather channels, like you have channels like Jason A, you have the Two Preachers that collect all these reports of all these like weather disasters that are going on, and when you're able to combine it all together and see all the pieces together, you see the big picture. So things like YouTube and just the internet in general, it's really important, you know, because if all you do is just watch the news, it's not going to collect all those things together and put it into a meaningful context. And if you're spending all your time watching sports, that you guys, sports don't mean anything, you know. It's entertainment, it's fun, you know. You might enjoy the sport itself. I know I do. I love football. I played football in high school. I played rugby. I was into wrestling, so I like sports, but it's not really that cool. And I don't think it's really that deserving of your time. You know, what does it do for you other than entertain you? You know, on the narcissistic side, if you're a narcissist, you know, the more you know about whatever your hobby is, whether it's cars or fishing or whatever, then, or, you know, playing video games, you know, that's going to help you get more attention, more validation, more praise, whatever it is that you're looking for as a narcissist. But, you know, in life, the only thing that really matters is your spiritual progression in learning to love and to care about others, and to, you know, increase your knowledge, work on your talents, which that is obviously a good thing. But you know, we're here to find an eternal companion and have a family, and spend time with that family. And you know, you're given, you know, a lot of us are, you know, we have children, and a lot of your time should be spent with them, helping them progress and teaching them the ways that they should go in life, and spending just quality time with them. And then, like President Nelson said when I was in the MTC, the Madrid MTC in 2004, he said that one of the purposes of life is to gather scattered Israel. If you saw that video, then you already know the story. But basically, since 2004, he's been saying that one of the purposes of life is to gather scattered Israel. You know, and how much time are we doing that? How much time are we spending with neighbors or meeting new people and becoming friends and sharing our beliefs, you know, in order to gather scattered Israel? If you're spending too much time doing these other things, then that's not what you're doing. You're not gathering scattered Israel. So, you know, there are just so many things that can suck our time away, and we need to be careful of that. We need to focus on the things that actually matter, the things that are going to matter when you die. You know, I hate to use my dad as an example. He's passed away. He spent significant amounts of time doing things that when he did pass away, and I was in the Army at the time, and I was able to get my emergency leave, and I went from Fort Hood all the way up to Salt Lake City, which you know, that drive really sucked, by the way. We just drove all the way through. And when it was time to kind of like go through his belongings with my mom and my brother, it's just like I looked at his life's work essentially, and it was literally gone within days. All those things that he had collected, all of his electronics, all of his toys, all of it, within just a matter of days, it was all gone. You don't take any of that stuff with you when you die. All your jerseys and cards and all your memorabilia and all the stats that you've memorized and your fishing poles and your gaming consoles, it doesn't go with you when you die. You know, do those things, but do it with moderation. Don't spend a lot of time doing it. It's not worth it. Do the things that develop your soul. Do the things that strengthen your relationships with other people, because that's what goes with you when you die. You know, let's not get caught up in this Roman bread and circus. You know, it is intentional, I believe. You know, some things are just going to happen organically, but I do believe that the powers that be have a hand in a lot of this, that they want you to be distracted. They don't want you to know what they're doing. They don't want you to know what's actually happening in the world. They don't want you to do your own research. They want you, if you do want to learn anything, then you need to learn it from them, but don't spend your own time doing your own research, coming to your own conclusions. You know, that's not part of their plan, right? So just do yourself a favor. You know, this might be one of the things that President Nelson has asked us to, what did he say? He wanted us to clear out the debris, the old debris in our lives, right? And I think a lot of that debris can be these things that distract us from learning the truth, from being aware of our current situation and the current situation of the entire world. Okay, so I'm going to end it here. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it. Hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you next time.